Hello. I'm just removing my nail varnish, and I thought I would record a video to link to a blog post that I wrote yesterday, and bringing back the blog. I'm trying. I'm autistic and waiting for an ADHD referral, so we'll see if I stick to it. Um, yeah. So the post I published yesterday was about how I got my autism referral. I can also talk about how I got my ADHD referral. Obviously, I haven't been diagnosed with ADHD yet. I might not. You never know. But I can talk about the referral. So, for autism, I was living in Cardiff in South Wales, and I started to notice each area from people I was chatting to. I think depending on where you live, there'll be a different process. So, in Cardiff, I rang the GP, and he was very lovely. But he said, "Yeah, it sounds like you have reason to." Hang on a second. You come in? You coming up? No, you don't like the smell, do you? Um, you have reason to go for an assessment, no problem. But in the Cardiff Vale, I don't bloody know, Cardiff catchment county, county, you have to self-refer. So the GP will not refer you for an autism assessment. You have to go to the integrated autism services and refer yourself. And that process is draining as fuck. I'm not gonna lie. So I get that's the way the system works. Hello. What you doing? Come on then, I'm trying to tell people. Come on, get up in the window. Come on. That's it. Come on. I know you like to get there. Go on. Go on. Okay. Okay, sit down there. So it's meant to be a serious video. Peaches steals the limelight again. So yeah, I know it's got nail varnish remover. You don't like it. Right. Oh, okay. So, the GP gave me a website for the integrated autism services. I went on the website and followed the instructions, emailed them and said, I've spoken to my GP. I gave them a bit of a lengthy email, giving lots of information about my situation, my experiences, my life growing up, loads of information. And I got an email back to say, right, fine, thanks for getting in touch. And it must have been, maybe it's just the same thing they send out to everyone, probably is, isn't it? It didn't seem as if they'd read my email. And on top of that, it was very much, do not use this service unless you are 100% sure. So immediately, you've got a situation. Immediately, you've got a situation where you're being told not to use the service, is how I felt. And it got my back up, and it could have gone two ways. It could have gone, I'm not going to do it then, because I'm too stressed at the thought of having to fight, because it's exhausting fighting all the time for things. But I went the opposite, and I was like, I'm determined to get in now. I am determined to be seen. So I emailed back and said, I really do believe I need this assessment. Please send me the relevant information. So they then sent me a very long form to fill in. And I had to basically do what a doctor would do if they were referring you. And I had to tell them all about like my problems, my struggles, my experiences, answer loads and loads of questions. Sent that off. Then I had another email saying, don't use this service unless you have to. That was a constant message to me. And then I was also told there was an 18-month waiting list. So I sent it all off. I kept going. I pushed back against the part of me that was like, just give up now, Kelly. And they were like, fine, we'll add you to the list. So that process was lengthy. It took a lot out of me. I'm not great with forms, and I feel stressed when like under pressured and pressure to do stuff. I have demand avoidance. That was another difficulty. And then after that, I waited about 17, 18 months, and then I had an appointment come through and loads of forms to fill out, more forms. So I hadn't given them enough information, obviously. So I had to fill out more forms. I didn't like some of the questions on my forms, and then I had to give my mom forms to fill out for me for growing up and stuff like that. You can give it to a partner, you can give it to maybe a really close friend or a family member. I wanted my mom because she could talk about like when I was little, my behaviour when I was little. And I felt that was more valid than because I could give my current situation, you know. So she filled out those forms. I filled out my forms. We sent those back. And then the 18 months was virtually spot on. I had my assessment date. You can see a video on here of me the day before. I recorded a little video and then shared it a while later. Yeah, and I'll do the next video and I'll talk about what happened at the assessment to a certain extent, because I don't think it's healthy. Not healthy. I don't think it's appropriate to know every single thing that's going to happen in your assessment. And they do ask you to keep that to yourself, because otherwise you can go in with this false kind of idea of what's going to happen. To be honest, I was out of it. I don't even remember half of it. But yeah, next video I'll talk about my actual assessment. So yeah, that's the process in Cardiff. And I'm just going to quickly add, for ADHD, I had a different process. I'm now in RCT, which is Rhondda, Cynon Taf. And it's still South Wales, but it's a different county and different system, I imagine. And I was referred for ADHD, but I had to go for a half hour or 20-minute. I had to go see my GP, and then she booked me in with the mental health practitioner, and I had to have an assessment, a pre-assessment with her, which was really nerve-wracking. And I had to answer loads of questions, and then she then said, yeah, you're eligible for, or you've passed the criteria for an ADHD referral, so we're going to refer you for that. But again, it will take 1 to 2 years. So yeah, very different experiences. I think I preferred being in control personally. Now I've seen the two sides of it. But yeah, it'll be very different depending on where you live. Look into it and fight the fight, because even though it's exhausting, it'll be worth it when you get your assessment. Either way, no matter the result, it'll be worth it, because you'll be able to figure out who you are, what's going on, and it'll answer all the questions in your head. Yeah. So next video, my assessment. Bye.